Freelancing is literally the best thing that happened to me ever, and I'm not ashamed of admitting it because this is the reason why I've been able to travel for the past 4 years. It's the reason why I've been able to take time off work when I needed it. It is the reason why I've been able to start an online business, sell my digital products, and just live the life that's closer to my ideal life or happy life. So if you're like me and you're a free spirit and you are really trying to fight for your own freedom in this world, then you're probably spending your days right now looking at videos like this one, trying to figure out how you could break into the online space. Now, I have good news for you and some bad news. The bad news is that freelancing is not for everybody, okay? There are some people that just can't deal with the freedom. They just don't know what to do with it, okay? But the good news is that anyone can do it. Anyone can successfully start a freelancing career online, remotely, just how you imagine. Now, what I'm going to do is over the next 10 minutes or so, I'm just going to walk you through it step by step. The only thing that you have to do is listen, pay attention to the very end. I'm also going to give you some additional resources at the end, so do stay until the end and then just follow through, and I promise you that it's easier than you think and that you can do it. You can do it. The first step, as you probably expected, is all about choosing the skill that you want to offer as a service. So essentially, when you think about the word service, you're serving people, right? So you need to think about a skill that you already have or that you can leverage or that you can learn in order to be able to serve a certain segment of people in this world. Now, the best thing to do is to already use the skill that you do have or the experience that you do have, because it's just going to be so much easier for you to start working online. Now, this could be, for example, if you're a teacher right now, you could start offering online tuition. If you speak multiple languages, you could, for example, teach languages online, or you could start producing content around learning languages. If you're a dancer, for example, you could offer online classes as well. Or if you wouldn't mind offering workshops in different locations depending on where you are, and you could also do that. For example, I know a tattoo artist who travels the world and she offers tattoos in whatever place she is, and she always finds business, and actually she's built her brand, her personal brand on this. So just think about where you are in life right now and what skills you have. Now, before you start panicking and before you click off this video like, I don't have any skills, wait, because if you feel this way, I have two options for you. So if you're one of these people like me where you don't really have, or you didn't really have any hobbies growing up, you didn't develop any talents, and you didn't go into a particular career path, and maybe you didn't even get a degree, then don't worry, because you have options. Your first option is to think about your life experience. Hold on, okay? Just hear me out. You can think about your life experience and the things you love to do and see if you can find something that you could offer. And now I want you to really give yourself a lot of love in this process, because there are things that you think are ordinary about you, or they're nothing special. There's no way that you could build a business based on that. However, you could serve a lot of people with this skill. As an example, if you're a mother that is cooking very healthy meals for her children, and you've been doing this for a while and you just feel like you know how to do it and your kids love it, you could offer advice to other mothers out there. You could produce a lot of products around this topic, where you could do eating plans for families, where you could offer specific ones like for vegans or for vegetarian families or whatever. All I'm saying is that to you, being a mom and cooking healthy meals is such a normal thing. Like, doesn't everybody do that? Well, the thing is that there are a lot of people who would love to be able to do that, but they just don't know how. And if you can be the one to show them, you can build a business out of it. So if you're one of these people where you're like, literally, Adriana, I don't have any skills, I don't know what you're talking about, like how, what, no, I suggest you ask somebody. Maybe they will be able to help you figure out what you're good at. And just ask your friends and family. Now, if that doesn't work and you're really hopeless and your excuse is that you literally just have no skills and there's nothing special about you, don't worry, because there is a solution even for you, my friend. And the solution is to simply learn a new skill. It's that easy. That's what I did. I had no skills and I learned copywriting, and here I am 5 years later. So go ahead and I just want to say that also learning a new skill is also an option if you are just genuinely interested in learning something new. So it could be that you already have some skills, but you're not so enthusiastic about like making a business out of them, and you prefer to just learn something new. The world is your oyster. Just go ahead and do it. I mean, you have so many courses and so much going on online where you can literally learn everything, so don't be afraid to just start fresh. Now the second step, let's say that you love photography and you're pretty good at it and you want to start photographing weddings. What do you do now? Well, I believe that any business, any good business is based on research. It's not so much about you just randomly going into a field and hoping for the best. It's about you actually going out there and figuring out at least a little bit what you're walking into and what can you bring to this space. So for example, with the photography business, what you could do is go on Facebook and go inside some Facebook groups and look around like brides to be groups to understand what people are searching for, what they're talking about when they're thinking about photographers. This way you could figure out their budgets, you could figure out their fears around it, you could figure out what they're hoping for, what kind of pictures they like, what kind of photographers they're recommending. You could also talk with your network. So I guarantee you that there are plenty of people in your network, whether it's like a first degree connection or a second degree connection, that either is about to get married, has gotten married recently, or knows somebody who's gonna be married or got married recently. And what you want to do is just try and basically have a chat with these people and ask them the right questions. And again, you would just be asking them about their budget, about what kind of experience they had. If they had a bad experience, what happened, what were they hoping for? If they had an amazing experience, what was so good about it? And by the end of after having let's say 5 conversations, you will already have a very good idea of how you can differentiate yourself, how you can best serve your audience, how you can have a lot of fun but also have a successful business. And after having just a few conversations, if you ask the right questions, you will even know exactly how to execute your marketing strategy, because these people will tell you, for example, the social media networks that they use to find photographers, what kind of portfolios they want to see, how they want you to communicate with them, how long it takes them to make a decision, what kind of budgets are you looking at, and how to best sell yourself to them. Okay, so now you know what you're gonna do. You have spoken to some people and you've done your research and you know exactly how to differentiate yourself and how to market yourself. The next thing you need to do is to put the strategy together. You don't want to start your business all confused and without a solid plan. If you just make a simple plan for the next 30 days, it's going to be so easy for you to execute every single step without procrastinating, without getting demotivated, without getting confused. Now, I believe in simplicity, and if you stay to the end, I'm also going to give you additional resources that are going to be super helpful for you, and I'm going to touch more on the strategy side of things in that resource. But let me just explain this to you. For example, if you are a new personal trainer, you're going to be asking yourself, okay, I've spoken to some people, I understand that, this is what they're struggling with, this is what they really need from me, and this is how I'm going to be able to serve them. But how do I find these people, and how do I get them to, book a session with me and start a plan with me? How do I do that? And this is where most people get stuck and discouraged, and they just leave freelancing altogether because they can't push past this hurdle. Now, if you keep things simple, right, just look at your business, look at your people, and figure out what's the easiest way for me and for them to start exchanging money for skills. So if I were a personal trainer, for example, what I would start doing is, for example, offering trial sessions, right? Like a group trial session, I would focus my energy on making it the most amazing, fun session that they could ever have, considering their challenges, considering what I found out in my research phase. And then I would just keep doing these trial sessions, and at the end of each one, I would just pitch the heck out of my personal training packages, and I would just make them an irresistible offer, like super juicy, super attractive, so that they would say yes to me. But also, the reason I would go this way is because it's easier to get people to engage with your paid product if you give them you. Like if you give them value from you, if you show them your personality, if you give them a taste of what it's like to work with you. Think about it this way: if you walk into a supermarket right now and they offer you a taster of like a small piece of cheese, and you try it and you're like, damn, that's amazing, you're more likely to buy it than if they just show you the packaging and they say, hey, this is good cheese. So giving people something and a taste of what it's like to work with you is an amazing way to entice them. But depending on your business, you have to adjust it. But I do encourage you to just make it very simple for you and for them, because if it's too complicated, you're gonna get stuck. So if you say to yourself, okay, I need to start a YouTube channel and blah, 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 think about it. Is it really the easiest option for you to start a YouTube channel and build an audience? How many people do you need before you can get your first client? Is there an easier way? Is there a more direct route to where you want to be in the next 30 days? Okay, so if the majority of people get discouraged at the previous step and they drop out, the other 50% get discouraged at the previous step, 49% get discouraged when it comes to the execution, and they just drop out because they can't stay consistent, because they get confused or they get stuck at some point and they just don't know how to solve the challenges that come up, because something doesn't work, and they get demotivated because things come up in life and they just don't know how to combine freelancing with their life. So I don't want to overwhelm you with information, because I know that we've been through a lot and you have a lot of things to do, because you need to figure out your skill, then you need to do some research, then you need to put your strategy together, and then comes the execution. Now, what I have prepared for you is a daily tip. I've got 6 of them. They're already done, prepared, and ready to go straight into your inbox, and these tips will get you through the execution stage. So make sure that you sign up for those down below. And also, once you sign up, this means that in the future, if I find a really cool book about freelancing, a cool resource or whatever, a tip, I'm just going to send it directly to you so that we can stay in touch and so that I can continue supporting you on your journey. And also, if you want more copywriting or freelancing or digital business content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because I'm posting a lot of good stuff here.